Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill is not just a film, it's a visceral, stylish blend of brutal action, revenge-fueled storytelling, iconic cinematography, and audacious soundtrack that assaults the senses in the best way possible. This first part of the Bride's bloody saga invites the audiences into a wild ride through a world of martial arts, vengeance, and hyper-stylized violence, all with a Tarantino twist. Let's dissect why Kill Bill is nothing short of a masterpiece, starting with its ruthless brutality and working our way through the film's backstory, characters, technical prowess, and auditory genius. If Kill Bill were a musical, the lyrics would be written in blood and the score would be played with the screams of severed limbs hitting the floor. This movie is brutal. Not in a senseless, gore for gore's sake type of way, but in a hyper-stylized, almost cathartic ballet of violence. The climactic showdown in the House of Blue Leaves is like watching a blood-soaked samurai opera unfold in slow motion. The bride, played by Uma Thurman, armed with a katana that could slice through steel if need be, methodically works her way through the crazy 88, painting the walls and floors red with their innards. The violence is so extreme that at times it transcends reality, turning into something almost absurdly beautiful. Tarantino switches to black and white during the most brutal parts of the film, not to dial back the violence. He's Tarantino, why would he? But to force us to focus on the choreography and the sheer audacity of the battle, saving the color splash for the final moments of victory and chaos. It's operatic, it's insane, and yet you can't look away. Every strike, every decapitation feels like a crescendo in symphony of carnage. Tarantino dares you to cringe and laugh at the same time. The bride's backstory is the heart of the movie, and it's as tragic as it is filled with seething vengeance. Formerly known as Beatrix Kiddo, the bride was part of the Deadly Viper assassination squad, a group of highly skilled, remorseless assassins led by Bill, the enigmatic and shadowy figure played by David Carradine. Each member of the squad is a colorful, deadly character named after a venomous snake. Fitting, since their betrayal was as poisonous as it gets. The story kicks off with one of the most vicious betrayals in cinematic history. Bride, pregnant and about to start a new life, is ambushed by the Deadly Vipers during her wedding rehearsal. Bill, her former lover and leader of the squad, coldly orders her execution. What follows is a massacre that leaves the wedding party dead, the bride in a coma, until she wakes up 4 years later to speak with one thing on her mind: Kill Bill. But before that, she's going to make her way through the Deadly Vipers one by one, because if you're going to be vengeful, you might as well be thorough about it. Vernita Green, aka Copperhead, is the first on the bride's hit list. Now, living a suburban life as a mother, Vernita seems to have moved on from her assassin days. That is, until the bride shows up at her door with a knife, ready to end her life in front of her kid. The kitchen brawl is fast, violent, and alarmingly domestic, because who doesn't duel with knives next to cereal boxes? I also love that in an ironic sense, she ends up killing Vernita in front of her kid and pretty much kickstarts the daughter's origin story. Oren Ishii, perhaps the most formidable of the Deadly Vipers, gets the most backstory in Volume 1. Born to a mixed Chinese-American family, Oren witnessed the brutal murder of her parents by the Yakuza. By age 11, she avenged their deaths by executing the Yakuza boss, earning a reputation as an assassin. Her rise to become the head of the Tokyo underworld is shown in a gorgeously brutal anime sequence. We'll get to that. She's cool, calculated, and deadly, making her showdown with the bride one of the most anticipated, beautifully shot sequences in the film. The backstory of these characters provides rich, layered context for the film's revenge-fueled narrative. Each of them betray the bride in their own way, and the brutal creativity of each confrontation shows how personal this revenge really is. Tarantino isn't known for restraint, and Kill Bill is no exception when it comes to this cinematography. Shot by Robert Richardson, the film feels like a kaleidoscope of different styles, each perfectly tailored to the scene. From wide, sweeping shots of the bride's journey through Japan to the extreme close-ups that capture every emotion, or lack of thereof, on Oren's face, the visual language of Kill Bill is striking. There's a particularly memorable scene where the camera tracks through the House of Blue Leaves before the infamous fight with the crazy 88. It's a single take that follows the bride through different rooms, past dancers and Yakuza members, creating a growing tension before the chaos erupts. The use of color is another Tarantino hallmark, with Kill Bill featuring a striking mix of bright yellows, the bride's iconic jumpsuit, deep reds, the blood, and the stark blacks and whites, especially during Oren's anime sequence. Speaking of style shifts, Tarantino plays with different cinematic techniques, even turning one segment into a black and white sequence and another into a full-on anime, because why not? He mixes genres and forms like a chef experimenting with flavors, and somehow the concoction is delicious. The anime sequence that narrates Oren Ishii's backstory is a bold, unexpected shift in style that works brilliant. Done in collaboration with Production IG, this animated segment is as brutally violent as the live action parts of the film, but with an added layer of stylization. We see young Oren hiding under a bed, traumatized, while the Yakuza murders her parents. It's graphic, with blood spraying across the screen, thick red rivers, and yet it captures the emotional weight of her revenge journey. The animation not only fits seamlessly into the film, but also enhances it, giving us a window into Oren's psyche in a way that live action probably couldn't have conveyed as powerfully. This choice is quintessential Tarantino, unorthodox but brilliant. I legit couldn't believe the sequence when I saw it, but after it, I knew for sure I loved it within me. Not sure if it's my inner cinema buff inside me or my inner weeb which it speaks to. Maybe both. No Tarantino film is complete without an iconic soundtrack. Kill Bill is no exception. From Nancy Sinatra's haunting Bang Bang, My Baby Shot Me Down, that plays over the opening credits, to the energetic, adrenaline-pumping Battle Without Honor or Humanity by Tomoyasu Hote, the music elevates each scene to new heights. RZA, who composed much of the score, blends martial arts film influences with Western sounds, creating a fusion of genres that perfectly complements the film's eclectic tone. The soundtrack is as much character in the film as the bride herself, punctuating moments of tension and action to tracks that are now forever tied to the imagery they accompany. The sound of the bride's sword slicing through the air is as sharp as the dialogue Tarantino writes. When the music swells, you know something epic, probably violent, is about to go down. Kill Bill is a masterpiece because it does what Tarantino does best. It takes multiple genres, from samurai films to spaghetti western to martial art flicks, and smashes them together in a vibrant, bloody spectacle. The brutality is unmatched, but it's balanced by rich characters, a compelling backstory, and stunning cinematography. Add in the bold, stylistic choices like the anime sequence and a killer soundtrack, and you have a film that stands the test of time as one of the greatest revenge flicks ever made. So, moral of the story is, don't go around beating up and killing pregnant ladies. Thank you guys for watching this video. I truly enjoyed watching this movie a bunch. Rewatching it in my case. And I hope it comes across that way while you're experiencing this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Black Sugar Lovin', out.